Fire! You have pushed your engines too far, too fast. Sailors scream, flames rage. Full power to the engines. Let's give it everything she's got. If we're gonna go down, we'll go down fighting. And if we have to blow the engines sky high in the process, then so be it. Come on, old girl, you can do it just a little bit further. We've done it! We have freed ourselves from Dath Hooli's rage! It'll take more than that to bring down the Chipping Norton, as battered and undercrewed as she is right now. Leopard. Let's just... I mean, this place could be our salvation, but just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna head for the fog. What's this? A Carnate War Trimaran! Flee for the fog! Full power! We need to keep pushing the engines. We do have a battle alert. We can't take on anything right now. It's not a good idea, but we have made it to the safe embrace of the fog. Oh no, what's this? Fire! You have pushed your engines too far, too fast. Sailors scream, flames rage. Heal the wounded, damp the flames. Do what you can. A tough challenge. Come on, come on! Everywhere hot metal and burning flesh. Hold on and pray. We have lost 1 crew. Oh no, we're down to 3 crew. We've lost 17 hull. We're down to 20 hull and we've failed the challenge. The Chipping Norton is more battered and burned than ever before. We're down to just 3 crew. That's basically Derek, Boris, and 1 other crew member. We now have more officers and mascots and captains than we do crew. Oh, now what? Restless nights. In the watches of the night, you pad softly past the hatch to the crew quarters. A man cries out softly in his sleep, desperately. Another. Ignore them or inquire about their dreams the next morning. Well, we only have 3 crew, so I think we should probably try and take as much care of them as possible. Eyes and a face. The whole neath lit up like a snuffer mask. There's something in the roof. Captain, it's in the roof. It's watching us. Eyes and a face. Eyes and a face. Yes, you say softly. You lay your hand on the sailor's burning forehead. There are storms in the roof. Hush. We won't join them yet. Wow. You now have 20 fragments. We gained 10 more terror. We now have 79. Haunted. Our life aboard the Chipping Norton is pretty rough right now. The crew are beleaguered. The ship itself is falling apart. The engines have been on fire. It's not a good position. And we're in the middle of a vast fog bank that is haunting. Perhaps we should send out the Zebat. Fly, Zebat! Find us some safe harbor. Somewhere that we can lick our wounds and recover. Nuncio is some distance to the southwest. Nuncio, well, that sounds like a promising sort of place. Hopefully it will be friendly. Also, it looks like we are leaving the fog bank. It may indeed have been haunted, but at least it allowed us to escape that trimaran, the Carnate Trimaran, or whatever it was that was pursuing us. We may stand a chance yet if we can make it to Nuncio. December 20th, 1887. The air trembles. A breath of change passes. Discovered. Nuncio. There it is, look. She is coming into view of the watchers now. I mean, assuming we can actually spare anyone to watch out. Nuncio. What a vast statue towering above it. It's like the Colossus of Nuncio, wearing some kind of crown and holding a rat aloft in the air. Discovered. McMaster's Haven. A haven at last! We must limp slowly into dock, our hull at 20 of 75, but 3 crew surviving aboard ships. Not to mention our stores, which are all but depleted. A few meager scraps is all that remains. We are truly in a bad way. If ever a ship were in need of a haven, then it is now in the Chipping Norton. Come, let us make dock in McMaster's Haven, and hope that they have some respite for tired and weary crews. Nuncio. Do not return, sender. Taciturn functionaries walk the docks in the uniforms of postmen. An enormous crowned statue casts a chilling shadow. The shadows gleam with rats' eyes. Their ceaseless chittering rolls like the tide. Go to the Postman's Tavern. The Inky Blotter, it's called. The sign doesn't look like much. Alright, the Postman's Tavern it is. Warmer inside than it looks. Faces turn in your direction, but no one seems surprised to have a new arrival on the island. Lit by 2 roaring fires, one at either end of the room, the bartender is in the postman's uniform. Like almost all of the patrons, a noseless postal inspector called Blunt Thomas delivers the drinks, clears tables, stacks the firewood. Listen in on a postal tall tale. Fishermen brag about fish that got away. Postmen brag about hard deliveries. Ask about that big statue in the centre of the island. If there were a guidebook for visitors, it would have to be the first entry. It would. Let's find out. Let's do that, shall we? The Monumental Postman. Oh, that is all of us, innit? Sort of the spirit of the island. Most of them don't seem troubled for more than an explanation than that. Although the hairless postwoman tells you it didn't always look like a fallen London postman at all. That it used to have a different face and a more old-fashioned outfit. Ask how they all occupy themselves all day. There must be more than this. Dead letter office. Big building, centre of town, hard to miss. You can work there too if you want. It's not clear whether this is a generous offer or a threat. Interesting. Very interesting. At the moment, we're really not in a fit state to do anything for anybody except for limp back to London. What about the hairless postwoman? Ask why the hairless postwoman is hairless. Legacy of some interestingly explosive package, maybe? Faux pas. No, she says. Curt. Not pleased you asked. Still had eyebrows when I came to Nuncio. The postman at the next bench diverts you. Speaks in a low voice. Lots of people find habits when they can't deliver the post anymore. This one has a plucking habit. Best learn not to notice. You glance up. The hairless postwoman is still glaring at you. Oh, sorry, hairless postwoman. Let's listen to the tall tale, shall we? Amazing what you get for a penny stamp. Delicate bottles lowered down chimneys on a rope. Do not fold under any circumstances. The letters curled through a narrow slot. Rattling, groaning crates brought back to the same address every day for 22 days running. The windows they pried open, the servants they bribed, the delivery surcharges they paid out of their own salaries just to get rid of one more packet. It is hard to tell which they hate more, the senders of mail or the recipients. Stands to reason. If the message was a welcome one, they tell the other fellow in person, reflects the hairless postwoman. Apparently she sounds like a burly gentleman. That's just the way of things, I'm afraid. Continue. I think we've done all that we can here in the Inky Blotter. Oh, except ask why the local currency consists of rats. 2 strings of rats for a pint of ale. 3 strings for wine. 5 for the tolerable brandy under the bar. Scarcity is not an issue. The hairless postwoman at the end of the bar smiles mirthlessly. Or maybe it's just the lack of eyebrows that does it. Long enough carrying the things around, you get into the habit, she says. Then she tells you that if you stay out late enough, you'll see some of the postmen making a procession to the centre of the island, stringing up rats around the statue like Yuletide decorations, in prayer to an ancient deity of this place. From the coughing and choking elsewhere in the pub, you'd guess that this is a story they often tell newcomers. Fine, if you're going to be like that, let's just leave. Back to the docks. Try a shift at the dead letter office. There is a sign of a cancelled stamp over the door. I really? No, they're going to send us to, deliver a package, and we've really got to go back to London. Surely. Explore along the beach. There's a long stretch of shale dotted with washed-up kegs and barrels and smaller flotsam. Assemble a port report. Let's assemble our port report first, and then we'll explore along the beach. Most of the inhabitants were Londoners once, but that doesn't mean they are now. uniform behaviour. Cataloguing all the peculiarities of this place takes many pages. The tailor who imports gilt buttons and braid just to be able to keep everyone's uniforms in condition. The fashion of wearing a postbag with nothing inside. Wearing it open, wearing it upside down, torn apart, or as a hat, wearing it any way that will show it doesn't have letters in it. There are the sitting rooms papered in cancelled stamps. The bergamot pomegranate curd on toast. The commerce in rat corpses. The hatred of cats. The absolute custom against ever issuing a paper invitation for any event, no matter how formal. It's the familiarity, the not quite Londonness of the place that makes it all so odd. We now have a port report for Nuncio. Excellent. In that case, let's explore along the beach. There is a long stretch of shale, dotted with washed-up kegs and barrels and smaller flotsam. Shifty goings-on. The rocks slip and slither underfoot, but you keep your balance. Every lap of the wave drags up some new letter or parcel. The face of the water is dotted with them, as far as you can see in this blackness, carried by a powerful current. Collect material for the dead letters office. That's where all this flotsam belongs, so it can be stored. Argue with the man holding a broom. He is determined. He keeps shoving letters into the sea. The sea keeps shoving them back. Assist the man holding the broom. Both of you together still won't achieve anything, but maybe he'll feel better. Rescue a squashy parcel. Accepting no further, he says a red scrawl across the wrapping. I'm intrigued by the parcel, but I'm also intrigued by the man with the broom. Let's rescue the squashy parcel. Accepting no further, says a red scrawl across the wrapping. A funny smell. And little wonder, the string of rats within may once have been fresh and, to certain tastes, delectable. It is now rather the worse for decay. Giving the parcel's contents a hasty burial is the best you can hope to do. Just before you dispose of it, though, note the recipient's name and address. A name of some power, worth remembering. We've gained 10 fragments. That is all. Argue with the man holding the broom? Or assist him? I don't know. Let's collect material for the dead letters office. A will of its own. You make your way along the shore with a big sack. Many of the envelopes are too damp to read, their addresses permanently lost, but a surprising number are still legible. There are also parcels. Here and there is a crate, a message in a wine bottle, a sealed cask that has bobbed up out of the shipwreck. Your sack ought to get heavy with all of these contents, but it pulls upwards and away, straining inland towards the dead letters office, like an unmanageable dog. Okay, fine. We've got dead post. Ooh, we can study the odd currents here. It's a tough challenge, 33%. Let's give it a go, shall we? Squinting and guesswork. It's no use. A few hours of exploration and squinting out to sea and flinging shiny floats into the water produces no better understanding than before. We have failed our challenge. Perhaps we can try again and have better luck. Can we just keep trying? Let's try again. A study in currents. As a scientist, if at first you don't succeed, try again, especially if you don't seem to lose anything when you fail. On all sides. You make a complete circuit of the island. The whole shoreline is alike, all of it covered in debris, all of it washing steadily inland from every direction. Not the work of some directional current. It's more as though the whole Unterzee were draining into Nuncio. Except, of course, that force did not affect your ship when you came this way. It does not stop ships leaving. Evidently it works only on the post. Fascinating. Perhaps we could perform some deeper scientific study of this in the future when we have more crew and, indeed, supplies. Yeah, we are seriously low on supplies. I hope you guys have a shop. I know I've not asked yet, but I would really like a shop. Really like to visit the shop if that's at all possible, and see what you've got. Should we actually basically, we should probably stop faffing about in case this is actually using up our remaining supplies. Do you have a shop? You have a shop! Yes, we are saved! The Chipping Norton. It's only just now, obviously, that I, Wilberforce Weird, have actually thought that we were going to starve to death and thought to go and check the local supplies, or supply tenderer. But it seems they do have one, which means we can buy 2, we can buy 3 lots of supplies. Look at that. We are back in the game. We've only got 6 fuel and 3 supplies. But hopefully that will be sufficient to make it back to London. Thank you, the harbour's provisioners. A sluggish and hostile merchant who squints warily. A few goods of indifferent quality. It doesn't matter. It's ambrosia to me. Any supplies will do. We haven't even equipped our chief engineer. Look, there we go. Chief engineer. Sorry, we were so caught up that there he is. He's in. He's now equipped in the tireless mechanic slot. Does he ever sleep? His eyes are dark circled, but his hands are steady. Try a shift at the dead letter office. There is a sign of a cancelled stamp over the door. We are the Purple Scythe Mercenary Company, and all shall fear us across the land. After years of bloodying your sword for meager pay, you've saved up enough crowns to start your very own mercenary company. Your men look to you to give a command. They live and die for the Purple Scythe now. Theodebald only ever had one real talent, using his fish to bloody the noses of other men, and not going down no matter what. You there! Yeah, you mercenary! Over here.